on Indie Style, we'll feature successful entrepreneurs from across the globe who are making incredible strides in their industry. You may not know their names yet, but you soon will. I'm Leah DeVon, and this is Indie Style. Hello and welcome to Indie Style. I am your host, Leah DeVon. Well, we have a very colorful show planned for you today. I tell you, you get to meet a professional full-time makeup artist and hairstylist. And in addition, he is an entrepreneur of many trades. He also has an accessory and nail business. And like 8 months ago, I started watching his go lives on FaceTime. And he does these incredible transformations. I was like, we have to have him on the show. So guys, please welcome Danny Flawless Rodriguez.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor. And you are a lovely girl.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Stunning. I love your Instagram, your pictures. I'm like, wow, I would love to do her makeup one day.
You are so good. Thank you for all the makeup artists and all that good stuff. Because, woo.
Girl, when we in the same room, I got you.
I'm excited. When we can travel again, I'm going to be like, hello, remember?
Call me, girl. You know the name. Call me.
Done. But I have to tell you, literally, I guess maybe like 8 months ago, I started following you. Like your picture popped up. I was like, what?
Who is this?
What? And I was just so intrigued. And of course, your photos and your transformations are just beyond. I don't even know how else to say it.
Thank you. It means so much to me. The main goal of those pictures is, and I know it may sound cheesy to some people, but truly, I'm all about spreading love and positivity. And for me, art has always been a way to relax my soul and to express it. And so I just find it very comforting. And so if it comforts me, then I figured other people could find comfort in that. And I mean, Lord knows the last couple of years have been tough for all of us.
Absolutely.
And so, it may seem frivolous or something insignificant as a photo, but you have no idea what people are going through. And that photo may have just cheered somebody up that day, and that can make a world of difference. So,
I
so
like sit and I'll look at them, like your Easter photos. I was like, look, and it's like I look sideways. How in the world do you do that? Like, let's kind of take it back, and in a bit,
okay,
we'll pull up some of your work for our audience.
Sure.
Like, how did you even get into the world of beauty? Like, tell us your backstory.
Well, my backstory started, I grew up in the Bronx, New York area.
No.
Yes, I'm a New Yorker, and this accent is not going anywhere, girl. So things were tight, money was tight, but my mom always prided herself on, if you take care of yourself, then people will at least treat you with some dignity and respect. Mm-hmm. And so my mom was my first indication of what beauty and elegance was. And she's a retired teacher, but she's also an artist and a painter. And so my mom was always good with color theory, and she liked to play with wigs. And so when I was a little kid, for me, my mom was a ninja. She was a magician. I couldn't understand that. One day she had black hair, and the next day she was blonde, and the makeup matched, and she looked like another person. So to me, that was magic. And then I got into comic books and just all the superpowers. And people will always ask me as a kid, if you have a superpower, what would it be? And for me, it was always morphing into whatever I wanted to be. And I realized, I can do that with makeup and hair, and I can morph into whatever I want to be. And that can be my superpower. And for me, that's truly what it is. If I want to make myself look like Cindy Lou Who for Christmas, I can do that. And if I want to make myself look like a woman or a king from Egypt, whatever I can imagine, the possibilities are there. And that, to me, is magic. Just the endless possibilities. It never ceases. So
I love that you said like superpower, because I think you know, I have a little boy who's 7, and I like to always say, you know, his creativity is his superpower. So I love that you had a mama, or that you have a mom that like encouraged you to be your true authentic self, you know,
Yes.
that allowed you to explore, to find something that you felt good about, and something that you were like, okay, this is kind of who I am.
Yeah.
Love me for all my
Yeah.
beauty. And
And that has been my journey of acceptance, because, you know, I grew up in the South Bronx in the late 70s, early 80s, and it was not a safe time. And it was definitely earlier time in acceptance of people and what they are and who they are. And so I definitely struggled as a young gay Latin man with an accent and humble beginnings. And my mom just always instilled that, you know, you have to find your inner strength and who you are. And it doesn't mean she didn't have her own journey with my sexuality, because she came from old school teachings as well. She's old Roman Catholic. And so there was a lot of steps to climb in acceptance. But the more life came at me, the more I realized this is my one opportunity to live what I can do the way I can do it. And there's no guarantees that I'm going to be reincarnated into anything other than what I am right now. So I'm going to make the best of it. And for me, I want younger children to see themselves in me, to see that you can be whatever you want to be. I don't believe in boundaries at all. I think they're absolutely ridiculous. I think they're restrictive. I think they're reductive. I just have no space for them. You are who you are, and only you define that. And so if I can help open some of those doors for some kids, then I've done my job, and I'm more than happy with that, you know?
yeah,
And that's my goal. I want that little boy that's living in Arkansas to feel okay to say I'm gay. And if I want to put on earrings today, I'm going to do that, and not feel that that has to be defended. Just as a blanket statement, that's what I feel like doing. That no different than if he wants to eat mac and cheese that day. I want it to be as easy as that, picking out a shirt. And so I'm going to do that.
I like it. And I think parents, especially moms, you know, at the end of the day, when it is all said and done, you just want your kids to be happy. I say that.
Absolutely.
You know,
absolutely. My mom is my best friend. I am a man of a particular age, and but I speak to my mom on a day, literally every day. If I don't, she starts to worry and call my husband's phone. So we speak every day.
No, that's
yes, and I love her, and she's my biggest advocate, and it makes me laugh so many times. I get questions like, what does your mom think of you wearing makeup or doing this? And I'm like, my mom just sent me a fan and some pink jewelry to go along with my fan. My mom is my biggest fan. She'll make fun of me. She's like, those eyelashes were as big as broomsticks.
I love it. So her having like that artistic background gave you that artistic freedom to be able to create. And I want Mikey to pull up some of your transformation pictures that are just breathtaking.
Okay.
Mikey, pull some up so we can take a peek. Oh my goodness. So
that's me. Okay. And so one of my favorites of all time in there is the yellow photo in the middle. It just looks like pure sunshine. That photo shoot was really important to me because it goes out to my play mom, or my adopted mom. Her name is Robbie, and she was battling cancer. And she said that I inspired her to fight and not give up. And she actually started taking my photos and putting them on T-shirts, and she would wear them when she went to go get her chemotherapy.
Oh, wow.
And so once I found that out, it moved me literally to tears. And I just had to do a photo shoot for her that would bring pure sunshine into her dark world, because she said that I was the light in this tunnel for her. And so I try to make it as bright as I could. And that smile you see is coming from my soul in that picture. And so that one meant a lot to me. The other one that means a lot to me is the picture with the mask on, the face mask that says hope. because when I did that, I, like many humans on this planet going through this global pandemic, felt some depression and sadness from it. And I didn't want to allow myself to sink in the abyss of that darkness. And I'm like, I can't be the only one feeling like this. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to keep on doing what I'm doing in spite of what's going on. And I put on that makeup and I put on that mask, and that's what came up. And that's why I had hope on it. And so that meant a lot to me, a lot.
I'm like, and it's interesting. Like I said, I think maybe 8 months ago, I started following your Facebook page and then started following you on Instagram. But I, of course, was drawn to your Facebook page just because you post so many of your transformations, which are just, like I said, I sit and stare and I'm like, okay, it's just, you're not just good at what you do, you're exceptional. And
thank you. Thank you. Seriously, that's humbling.
No,
because all artists are, but all artists are so critical. You have no idea. My husband grounds me, and he always brings me back to the center, because I'll find the most minuscule thing to nitpick in the photo, and that's what I'll focus on. And then he's like, "You need to let that go. There's no perfection."
Like, what?
And let me just say, so many people wonder where the word flawless comes from. It's not out of narcissism. It is not out of conceit. It actually came out of a joke, and then it became its own entity. And the quick version of that is that I used to work in a salon in New York, and I was the head of the bridal department. And every time I did the makeup of the bride for a trial run, she was like, "Oh my God, my skin looks so flawless. My makeup is so flawless." And so my coworker next to me would tease me when the bride would leave. "Oh, flawless, flawless, Danny Flawless. I'm gonna call you Danny Flawless." And then everyone started calling me that at the salon, and it just took. And then as the years passed on, I embraced it, because of course I know I have flaws. We all have flaws. There's no one without flaws. Right. But we are all individual. And there's only one of me in this entire world. And for me, that is perfection in itself. So no one else can be me. So because of that, that is flawlessly perfect for me. And I try to embrace that with everyone. So I tell everyone they're flawless, because there's only one of you, and that's flawless. And so I kept the name. And I don't care how many times I have to explain it to people. I'm going to keep the name, because I want people to feel good about themselves. And it's okay to say you're flawless.
Oh, you're
not perfect. Well, speaking of flawless, that's my logo. It's flawless and fab. My husband, very talented, Reginald Todd Strickland, created that for me. He is a graphic designer, musician, and artist. He's a singer, producer. He does all my work, and that's the logo that you guys just saw, and that is to my jewelry company. I partnered last year with this company called Paparazzi Jewelry, and I was just buying so much for them in the beginning to incorporate in my photo shoots, that I'm like, maybe there's something here to that. And out of some discussions came about, and now I work for the company, and I love it. It's another way for me to express my creativity and my identity. And along with the jewelry, I also I call myself the accessory king. I work with a nail company. They're called Color Street. And the same thing for me. First of all, I've been bald for a very long time. And so bald people have to find new and creative ways to look different. And so for me, jewelry, nails, accessories do that. Glasses, they allow me to change my look up and to be able to express myself. And it's funny, I started using those things for my photo shoots, and now they direct my photo shoots, because there are times where, let's say the nail company comes out with a nail set that's for breast cancer awareness. Well, that's a wonderful cause. So of course I'm going to do a photo shoot for breast cancer awareness. Or for Christmas, or for any domestic violence as well. I'm going to do one for that coming up. And so the things that I use as an accessory now are part of the entity. And so for me, even though one is a nail company, the other one is a jewelry company, I also work with a skincare company called New Skin. It all encompasses the same thing. It's all about beauty and making yourself feel good. Some people treat beauty as a frivolous thing, and it's not important. It's what's on the inside. That's true. I get that, because your true beauty comes from the inside.
Right.
But who doesn't feel better when their shell is put together and they feel they're at their best?
Oh, 100%.
We all do. We all do.
I have to agree with you. I don't think anybody is just like, oh, I'm good when I wake up and get out of bed. No.
Okay, I just woke up this way. I wish.
Are you kidding me? No. And it's so interesting. And I love, like, of course, when I started, following your page, and I was just so in awe of all the transformations and watching you do your lives on Facebook, which cracked me up because you're so funny and entertaining, talking to the ladies. Okay, Janet, I see. Okay, it's just
I see, girl.
Talking to your girlfriends and everybody. It's people are I was drawn to that. I was like, man, if we lived in the same city, I would just make them be my friends. We would just be friends.
Same. And I love treating people that way, because it's first of all, I'm Puerto Rican, and or as my family likes to call me, a New York Rican, because I was born in New York.
Right.
But culturally, we're very affectionate people, and then it's just in my nature. I truly want to spread joy and love, and so when I'm doing a live or an event, I'm just being myself. Like that, the crazy you see, girl, that's real. That's not put on.
It's energizing. And I know, and the fact, like, Indie Style, we celebrate successful, independent entrepreneurs. And you have just, like, taken that ball and just knocked that, the bat. See, me in sports, that's my husband.
Girl, I'm saying.
You get what I'm saying? Like that,
yeah, I look for the uniforms, girl. Who looks good in number 32?
Right. I cheered in college. I did it for the exercise value. But I'm just saying, I do totally to exercise. But anyway, I love the fact that you have taken something that you love and you've become, like what I said, the consummate independent entrepreneur, and you are thriving, and people are coming to you because of who you are and allowing you to grow your brand, which is just the ultimate
You just gave me chills with that, because literally my husband said that to me yesterday. And because I always get nervous right before whatever I'm about to do, and then I just myself from that moment on. And so he's used to the song and dance and me getting nervous. He was like, they came to you because of what you're doing, so just be you. And right before we did this show, because I was putting on some eyelashes right before we started.
Yeah.
He said, now you're dressed, you're ready. Now just talk about yourself. Just be you. Yeah. And once I got that concept, it snowballed, and it became its own avalanche of joy. And because for me, I was trying to figure out, okay, how do I encompass all of these things and make it my brand, make it true to who I am? Because I can't be fake. That I will not do. I won't do it for money. I won't do it for any reasons. If I'm going to be successful, it has to be because of my truth. And so for me, that's why what you see is what you get. I'm not trying to be anything that I'm not, because I can't. I can only be Danny. I've been in this body doing this thing, and I'm going to do it to perfection as best as I can. And so I'm not going to be fake. You're going to see my crazy.
You just
Thank you.
It's like if he puts up another picture that looks like that, again, I'm always going, like, I don't get it. Like, how you do that? That is a gift. But I want to, like, take a second and make sure that, and Mikey's got some other videos that she's going to pull up, but there's one, and I want to talk about the one that's a little more serious. And I'm just like, we're going to pull it up. But before, look, I'm going to do a disclaimer so people aren't writing in, why did she do that?
Yeah, exactly.
His husband is African-American, okay?
Yes.
So
Yes.
I want there's a purpose behind the video that Mikey's going to show. So Mikey, roll the video, and then we'll come back and talk about it.
Yes. before we start, my husband is African American. And yes, he's in blackface. But the purpose of that was he's a singer and a songwriter, and he was making an album to discuss what he himself, along with his family and many African American families, experience every day. The hatred, the discrimination, the fear, the lack of education, the brutality, and he just had enough, and we both had enough. And so we had to use our talents to speak up for that cause. Because if you're not speaking up for it, then you're part of the problem. Your silence is just as destructive. And so once I knew that he was going down this route, I knew that first of all, he's my husband. I'm going to support him, and I'm going to help make it as powerful as we can. And so that's where the blackface came from, because it was his way of saying, is this what you see? Is this what you're always going to see? And the title of that album was A Bunch of Zeros, which in the graphic design world, the bunch of zeros is the numeric coding for the color black. And he thought it was really poignant that, of course, black would be seen as zero. And so I did the hair for that. I did the makeup, and I helped him with the direction of that. And it was difficult. I mean, it wasn't the first time that my husband and I have worked together on this cause. Ironically, maybe 7 years ago, we did a music video where I had to put my husband in battered makeup and chains and nooses. And like, as a husband first and as a human being, to see your spouse that way is extremely painful. Even if you know yourself that it's makeup, it still became real for me. And to see my husband in blackface and know that he feels that people still see him this way pains me. And if one person was moved by that experience and it helped to open the dialogue, then our job was done. We're not naive to think that we alone can change the entire face of that discussion, but we can help bring our voices to the table.
Wow.
And that's what we did with that.
Right.
I mean, that's, to me, the function of art is not just to inspire, but in a joyous way, but sometimes it's uncomfortable conversations that need to be inspired. And art can do that in a safe environment, I feel.
Right, right. Thank you for explaining that. And then, Mikey, show us another one that's not as
serious.
Yeah, not as serious.
Not as controversial.
Not the controversy, yeah.
That one was really fun. It was one of my first events when I moved to Austin, Texas, because I'm originally from New York and my husband's from Austin. And that's how I discovered this little town. And it's a international and domestic fundraising benefit that supports indie artists of all types, whether it's musicians, jewelry makers, costume designers, makeup artists like myself. And so I partook in it, and I did a makeup / fashion show where I created 24 hours in the life of Danny Flawless. And my husband actually helped me come up with the concept. And so my first model was the Morning Dew. The second model was the Sunset. And the third model was the Evening. The Crescent Moon.
That is just, oh my gosh. Look, when we can fly, I'm gonna have to come let you transform me and be like, okay, just make it all better.
And I love when somebody tells me that, when you give me carte blanche to do what I want, I love it.
Okay.
Anytime, sugar.
There are so many up and coming, young entrepreneurs who, regardless of who you are as a person in your life, who are trying to be successful, as an independent entrepreneur. Give a tip for success for somebody.
The best tips that I have two truths for me. First truth is you have to find yourself first before you expect to share that with everybody else. Because if you don't, the industry is going to influence you so much that you're going to have so many people trying to tell you should be this, or you should do this, or do it this way, or you're trying to replicate somebody else's success. Well, you're failing to realize that what makes them successful is their truth. They're being themselves, their authentic self. So if you can find that truth and hone in on it, just be you throughout the journey. Don't try to be the next Jeffree Star, anybody else. Be the best you. Second piece of advice would be is know the difference between the dream and the hustle. It's wonderful to have dreams in this life, to say, oh my God, I want to be a singer, I want to be a piano player or whatever. But the hustle is different, because if you don't have the hustle to follow that dream and to stick with it when times are hard, when no one is paying attention, when you get those bad reviews, when someone makes you feel less than what you are, then how are you going to survive? Like, the industry is not for the faint of heart. Like, if you don't have the guts to follow that glory, you're not going to make it, sugar, because unfortunately this world is not friendly to those who are not willing to put in the work. It's just, that's the truth of it.
Those were really good. I always love this part of the show. It's like so therapeutic. I'm always like, and go.
And these are lessons I learned the hard way, honey. So life will teach you the same thing over and over until you learn that lesson.
100%. This is so amazing. Okay, so you are all over social media, and I'm not joking. When he does like the Facebook Lives, it's like QVC. There are like thousands of people. I'm like, what is this? Bananas, okay?
QVC, if you're watching, holla at your boy.
Like, I'm like, is this the QVC of Facebook that nobody told me about? This is so good. So, like, tell us where we can find you on social media. Give us some of the places we can find you.
On Facebook, my personal page is Danny Flawless Rodriguez. I also have a company with my husband called Phoenix Artist Studios, where we develop up-and-coming artists. My jewelry company is Flawless and Fab. And on Instagram, you can follow me, Danny Flawless, the #1, or Danny Flawless Hair, which is my business page on Instagram. And you can see all of my lovely creations. And I would love for you guys to follow me. I always follow back. I love to support other artists. I think we should all support each other, especially indie artists. I mean, there's enough room at the table for everybody to eat. And I love to eat.
I love it too. You know, and I say this, and I do say this, I've just been really lucky with our shows. You know, I have a great guest coordinator, but I found Danny. I was like, we have to have him on the show.
I was so honored.
Just so grateful. And when I say, like, and our guest coordinator, his name is Warren, he is always finding the most incredible, I'm always so blown away by successful entrepreneurs who are just kind and who really want others to win. So I'm so grateful for that. And I'm so grateful that I have met you. And I kind of feel like, you know, I can call you my friend. And when I come to Texas, I'm gonna DM you and let's sit down and like
absolutely.
So
I'm so honored. I'm honored. The fact that you reached out to me, it's very humbling. I'd never take that for granted. And yes, sister girl, we are friends for life now. Hello. You got my info. You know where I'm at.
I know where you live. I have all of your info. But anyway, we can us. Yes. So, you know, we're excited because we get to continue to just watch your business thrive and watch you do all the things that you're doing. And I know that only just wonderful. I'm going to give that juju to you. She's going to keep coming your way. You have a good heart.
I'm into that positive affirmations. Yes, speak it into existence.
You are a good person, my friend, and all that goodness that you give, it just always always finds a way back to you. So you just
absolutely
that inspiration with those beautiful photos and those videos and all that love that you have, because people love it. So,
and I love sharing it, and I have a lot to give. So come on, get it, people. My journey has not finished yet. I've only just begun.
Well, I am so excited and I'm so grateful to meet you. And I want to thank you so much for being a guest on my show today.
Thank you. I'm so appreciative to you. I think you're doing great work. And the fact that you're showcasing people like us is a blessing. And we don't take it for granted. We are so grateful to people like you who are looking out for us, the small
100%.
folk.
100%.
So thank you so much to your viewers. So much love, mucho amor, mucho besos. I'm so appreciative of you. Thank you so much for having me, guys.
Welcome.
Yes, appreciate it.
You're so very welcome. See, that just made me feel really good, because when you meet really great people who are doing great things but are humble and kind and really want to give back and teach and all that goodness, that just makes the world a better place. So anyway, guys, I hope that you've enjoyed meeting. I'm going to call him like my new friend. Like he's going to be my new friend, Mr. Danny Flawless Rodriguez. And until next time, I am Leah DeVon. Be well.
Our show is sponsored today by Candied Crowns Jewelry and Accessories. Candied Crowns wants every woman to feel glamorous and beautiful with their one-of-a-kind jewelry, newly added cosmetics, and fashion accessories. Be sure to visit and shop their online store at candiedcrowns.net and follow their brand on social media.